Hello there, and welcome to the draw for the FFUK Cup last 16, live with myself and, as always, Mr. Cups. Bakes, how you doing, Bakes?
Very good, thank you, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, thanks for joining me again. And this week we have, or this time we have a special guest, someone to do the draw, perform the draw, someone who's responsible enough to cut up and put 16 names into a bowl, and he'll tell us about that in a bit. But hello, Damo, how you doing?
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, very well, thanks. And putting FFUK before my own sadness after just being kicked out of one of the cups this weekend. So, but excited to be a part of it, and good to see some friendly faces as well.
Absolutely, yes. Hopefully a few friendly faces watching. So, or they will be joining us, I'm sure, because we've got a couple of people already. But yeah, so I suppose before we get to the main event, we should talk about the milk plate, because at the moment the cups are, well, at the end of every month, it's a pretty big time in both the cup competitions. But Bakes, do you want to explain about the milk plate and where we're at in the milk plate, and then we can also show what's going on?
Yeah, sure. So the milk plate's in the same situation as the FFUK Cup. We're into the last 16 now of the milk plate, with January having just been finished. That takes us into the last 16. As people will no doubt remember, the milk plate is that second chance saloon for any teams that were knocked out of the first round of the FFUK Cup. We did a draw right at the outset, which kind of takes everything all the way through from the first round of that competition all the way through to the final. So works a bit like the Wimbledon draw. So the whole thing is drawn from the very outset, and then you just play all the way through to the final. So teams are seeded. So, you know, if they get that far, then the top 4 seeds would play each other in the semi-final. So at any given moment, you can see, you know, not only the match you're playing, but your route to the final, if you like, and the teams you might meet along the way.
Show what that looks like. So
absolutely,
yeah. So if you've got this on your phone now, put it full screen or on your TV or whatever, so you can see it. So yeah, who've we got in there? Any big names? Anyone gone out?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as I'll scroll down this, and you can see how the draw is played through. We're about to start round 4, so that's the one in play. We've just completed round 3, which is in January. Straight away, we can see Justin McCarthy there. He's made it through to round 4. Had a very strong year last
weekend with some very big off the bench numbers this weekend. Writing his own review. I've been looking forward to it.
Well, that might have been just enough to see him through, because then he went through by 17 points. And he's through to play Josh Paxman in round 4.
And so that's the way the draw works. That's a big tie, because Josh Paxman could be watching, obviously.
Is he our resident professional?
He's our resident professional. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so he does
Justin.
FPL podcast, and he's on FF Scout and all that kind of stuff. So,
346, big number as well. He got in there.
And he absolutely, looking at that, he smashed it, didn't he?
Good month. So as we scroll down, we can see the next fixture is Jack Slade against James Simpson. So Jack had a relatively comfortable tie against Mark Tarbox in the end, winning by 40 points. James snuck through against Paul Reed by 8 points. And as we keep going now, we're still in the top half of the draw. The next fixture is Stephen Almond against Harvey Smith.
Okay.
And then we got Jamie Davis against John Stevens.
Okay. Jamie Davis.
And as you look at this this spreadsheet here, this grey line here marks the 2 halves of the draw. So that's the top half of the draw.
Yep.
So they'll be playing through for 1 place in the final amongst those 8. So this is the bottom half, where we've got Ian Sanderson's going to be playing Dan McBrearty. There's a 6-point swing there. So Dan McBrearty just snuck through against Paul Brown. Then we got, Damo, there it is.
Yeah.
Joseph Mulhern.
Well beaten in the end. He did play his wild card and his bench boost in January. So
did he?
I went through that month without any chips. So.
Did you really? Crikey.
Yeah.
It's good going. Might have cost you a little bit, though, in terms of the milk plate, though, Damo. Out by 34 points. Yeah. Joseph Mulhern, who will play Sean Griffin. He knocked out Tom Newman, who had, by the looks of things, a difficult month with just 291 points.
Oh, we heard it. We all heard it.
We had it on the WhatsApp group, didn't we? And then the last fixture, I believe, second last fixture, we got Chris Smith against Oliver Gordon. Craig Sharman's luck finally ran out in January. Oliver Gordon stuck through that tie. And then in the match at the bottom of the draw, we've got Robert Simpson against John Harper. So I don't know if they're related. I'm kind of assuming they are. We've got a Robert Simpson, and further up, we've got a James Simpson.
No, I don't think. Oh, not sure.
So potentially, I mean, if they are related, it could be an all Simpson final, which would
could be. I think they may have come from different sources. And I'll be honest, Paul, I think there are quite a few Simpsons about.
It's not an uncommon name. You're absolutely right. It's not an uncommon name. Still, you know, we can dream.
Springfield.
So that's the draw for the Milk Plate.
Okay, great. Well, that's
ties
awesome.
to be played in the game month of February.
And is that up on the website or?
It's not yet. No, I'll get that up on the website ASAP.
Cool, but it is updated on the
Google. This is the Google sheet, so yeah, that's updated. Yeah,
this is the actual Google sheet you could be viewing. There you go. Okay, well, that's the Milk Plate. Anything else on that? There's that. I think we probably otherwise we'll move on to the main event. Okay, so we've got 16 names left in the hat for the draw, and obviously 8 ties. And there's some big names. I think I had a look earlier. I think there's 10 from the WhatsApp group, and I think there was 10 of the top 20 in there as well.
Is there really? Right.
So some quite big names. And
I think it's worth calling out Steve Cronin just before we get going.
Yeah,
what a lucky boy he's been. Top of FFUK. Sneaks through in his previous round 4 tie. He ended up drawing. He was level with Dave Windsor. I need to check how many points they had.
I went on to look at Steve's team, especially when he was getting top 100 in the world. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? How can I learn? And I went and he had Sam Johnson in goal, and I'm like, this must be the elite level of fantasy. The keeper is considered the most goals in the league. I'd say for Martinez, he'd be top 50 in the world now.
Probably. But they both got 324 points over 5 game weeks, and it was still a draw. Couldn't be separated. So, and it's worth saying with the cups, if it's a draw, we'd go on a count back system. So I went back and had a look at the previous month's scores, and of course, Steve absolutely smashed it in December. That's when he was flying up the ranks of FPL, let alone FFUK. So that was a fairly comfortable one for Steve on the countback. But on the back of a draw, unbelievable.
So his name's in the hat.
Is
it a hat? Hat, Damo? What are
you?
No,
it's a crystal base here.
The expense, absolutely no expense.
It's transparent. I have to see something that you can see, so there's no dodgy, nothing dodgy going on there. Names are visible at all times.
Lovely. Okay. Well. Okay. So are all the names in the?
They're all in here.
Crystal vase. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Well, cool. We haven't done this for so long, Bakes.
An actual proper live draw like this.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I don't know what to say, or yeah. So okay, well, without further ado, let's commence the draw.
I'll start ripping them out, and you can give a bit of commentary. Who's swearing the league? I'll give a good.
Hopefully, I'll try and give a bit of commentary as we go. But and Bakes is going to make a note of them, and let's go for it. Yeah.
Here we go. So first name out.
First name out of the hat
is
upside down.
Upside down.
Danny Burgess.
Danny Burgess. Okay.
For anyone who watched the Snapper.
Bakes, can you see who Danny beat in the last round? Or?
And hang on. Danny beat Chris Webb by 33 points. Yeah.
Now, is this going to be who he's playing? The next one out, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and there's no home or away advantage. It's just for the month.
They're all upside down. Malik Mansour.
Okay, excellent.
He's been on a roll recently. He beat Neil Gordon by 79 points in the previous round.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome. Get top game weeks.
Everyone's upside down so far. Yeah. Well, who's that one? Dean Cummings.
Yep.
Dean Cummings. Okay.
And he beat. What did he do in the last round? How can I find him? He knocked out Michael Moore's 93-point difference. Goodness me. Absolute battering.
Okay.
And another one upside down is Mr. G himself.
Oh, it's me.
there he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Chris got through
So
the last
I-
round,
I-
beating Vince Syracuse by 77.
you're
Yeah, in the end, it was a pretty big victory, but actually, the first 2-3 weeks, it was neck and neck. You know, yeah, just funny how it goes.
Yep.
Also upside down,
Jack Mosley.
Jack Mosley, who defeated Andy Jackson in the previous round.
And we'll obviously we'll read these out at the end, just so that we've got
one pot out. I'll push back in there. And can we go for Darren Russell?
Darren Russell.
So hold on, is that the first leg of the tie or the second? Are they home or is that the home or the away?
That's the away fixture. Jack Mosley plays Darren Russell.
So Jack Mosley versus Darren Russell. That's all WhatsApp tie.
Yeah. Darren defeated Jim.
And
and Amit. I know Amit is watching. Amit Shah. Hi,
yeah,
Amit.
and I do hope if we do have a get together this year that Amit turns up, so I could just say I'm pleased that Amit Shah. But as I was writing it, I was like, oh, he must get that all the time.
He must have heard that before a few times.
I'm
completely losing track of the draw here. So hold on, is this the home or the away?
This is away. This is tie 4. The away team is,
and this is a
Mark Latham will play
Latham.
Amit. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant.
New tie coming up. Yeah.
So, Mark Latham is just a 3-point deficit over Alex Sadlier in the previous round. Really just snuck through by the skin of his teeth.
Andrew Fogarty.
My old colleague at Mattel. But he resides in Australia.
Australia, right? And he will play Tina Whitehouse.
Tina Whitehouse.
The only lady left in the draw.
I think so,
That's the only lady left standing, I believe.
Yeah.
So how many we got left?
3 more.
Yeah.
3 more ties, 6 more names.
We have Jonathan Wilson, our very own Guardian columnist.
John Wilson. It's a double L.
Double L, yeah. A reigning champion who knocked out Sam Blakey in the previous round by 30 points.
And
so he's got this a tough tie.
Mark
Harrison. Okay. That's all WhatsApp as well.
Just 2 to go.
2 ties remaining.
Mr. Downey, James
Downey. Reigning milk plate champion.
Yeah, I'm flying high in the league, up around top 10. We'll play Clayton Deacon.
Okay.
That chap is actually named after Adam Clayton, as he told me himself when we met up at one of the.
Yeah,
his dad's a massive U2 fan. I was like, that is awesome.
So, he knocked out.
Such a great name.
He knocked out Tom Galloway in the previous round.
Okay, my cousin. And here we go.
There he is.
Right at the top.
Yeah.
Steve.
We'll play.
Is that the last one left?
This is going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good one. Yeah.
Stu Allen.
Oh, Steve versus Stu. Okay. Quality. Do you want to read? Can you read them out, Bakes? We'll go through it.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. So tie 1, we got Danny Burgess versus Malik Mansour. Tie 2, Dean Cummings versus Chris Galloway. Tie 3, we've got Jack Mosley versus Darren Russell. Tie 4, pits Amit Shah against Mark Latham. Tie 5, Andrew Fogarty versus Tina Whitehouse. Tie 6, John Wilson versus Mark Harrison. Tie 7, we've got James Downey up against Clayton Deakin. And last but not least, Steve Cronin versus Stu Allen.
Excellent.
Bringing up that league.
That was good. That was good. We just about remembered how to do it. I forgot halfway through what we were doing and almost clawed it back. But that concludes the draw for the last 16 of the FFUK Cup. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for that. Bakes, if you can, we'll obviously get that up on the website so that everyone can see it in black and white and then start looking at each other's teams and do all that kind of thing.
Is the highest Is that Steve Cronin playing number 1 is against Stu is number 10? Is that the highest ranked 2 teams? I think it might.
I would think so. I don't know where Dean is. I don't know what rank Dean.
James is number 4, is fourth in the league against Clayton, who is 16. That's also tight.
Hold on, I thought I was playing Dean.
Clayton.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, Clayton. Clayton's up there. Clayton's right there.
Yeah, good ties.
No, there's some good ties there, and I've really enjoyed like having just keeping an eye on the other team. I've tried not to sort of make moves with it in mind, but it's hard sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was the same. Yeah, I'm hanging in there for the big one this year. 2.0 as we try to get the Champions League off the ground in 3 or 4 weeks. Is it, Bakes?
So qualifying finishes at the end of game week 24. And then the competition starts game week 26. So we've got game week 25 to do the draw.
Yeah.
So it's a really good point. There's still places up for grabs. So if you win a game week between now and game week 24, you'll get through. We need to figure out the top 5 or 6. I can't remember what it is. Newcomers to FFUK.
Okay.
As at the end of game week 23, we're gonna have to work that out because they'll go through. The top young FFUKer. As at the end of game week 23 will go through. Then there'll be a whole bunch of places left up for grabs at the end of that. There'll be like 20 odd places, 15 or 20 places. And so then what we do is we look at game week 24, and it's just the top ranked players who haven't qualified yet from that game week fill the remaining places. So if you haven't qualified, hit it hard game week 24.
Yeah.
There's a really well. We're hoping because we didn't quite get to finish the competition last year.
Barely started. I think we did the first two rounds, the preliminary round 1 and preliminary round 2. We managed to do. There's only 4 teams competed in it.
Yeah, exactly. No, but what I liked about it was the fact you kind of got all the teams. You got allocated a team
name. The random names.
And you're hoping either for a really random team because that's kind of funny and quite cool to read about and stuff. But or you're hoping for like a really big team so that you've the thing is, it doesn't make any difference to your chances, does it? What team you get?
Well, unless you get drawn to teams, so you go straight through to the stage. So you don't have to bother with all the qualifying matches.
So it does. So Bayern Munich is.
And will it be that way again this year? Where depending on your team, you won't have to play the early games, and you'll just come in about round 30 or something like that.
But you'll keep your team all the way through. So you could be drawn Linfield, and you could get Linfield to win the Champions. It would be tough because you've got all those qualifying rounds to go through, but it's possible.
No, but it's absolutely possible.
It's a fun draw because it doesn't matter who you are. You can be the best team and start in the preliminary, or vice versa. You get a bye all the way through, and you're way down in the league, and you just had a good game week 24.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's great. It's also just another thing for people to get involved with towards the end of the season. We've also. Daz actually on the group today noticed about we've actually introduced a prize this season for the best score in game week 38, and that's not taking into account hits. So that could be a bit of fun towards the end of the season if you've had enough and you don't think you're going to win any prizes, or if you think you're going to win prizes and you think, well, I can do both, then why not? So. No, it's going to be it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I'm doing all right, so
you won't be taking part in any of that kind of nonsense, will you, Chris?
Well, no, I won't. But you know what? But last season, I would have done. I'd have done 10 hits for the last game week of the season to try and win that 50 quid prize because I wasn't getting anywhere near last season and I couldn't be. So, and there's definitely people who are having. What I had last season happened to them this season. So if by the end, it's worth doing. I mean, what difference does it make if you finish, 200k or $1 million? It doesn't really make much difference, really.
Yeah. Last year, the last game week was possibly one of my best because I had the free hit and I went from like 95,000 to 23,000 on the last season. So it's great. Yeah. Like my highest ever game rank since I've been playing it, if you consider how many players are versus my previous.
What you played the free hit in the final week? Yeah,
on the last day. Yeah, and I was able to bring Aubameyang in and that kind of thing.
I would absolutely love to do something like that. About it, but I don't know how. Yeah, it's quite hard to keep your chips, isn't it?
This year the free hit was too hard because of COVID and all that. Whereas last year we kind of got a free hit after the setback. Remember, we got that free wild card.
The extra wild card, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll do another. We'll obviously be back for another cup draw next month. This time next month, and that'll be the quarter-final draw at that point.
It will. Yeah.
So that'd be good. And then I'm thinking for one of the draws, we'll also do a bit of a special and do some 101 stuff, room 101, because we had a bit of that, and there was some really good suggestions in there, and I reckon we can have a good old chinwag about that. So we've got all that to look forward to. But yeah, thanks very much for joining me, Bakes, and thanks Damo for doing the draw. And thanks everyone for watching. And we'll be back another time. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.